Motherfucker, yeah, I get busy, motherfucker. Just mind your business, motherfucker. Run me my digits, motherfucker. Can't sign no deal, motherfucker. Now I can't sign shit unless it's 8 figures, motherfucker. Yeah, fuck all
What's up, bro?
my soul, I just go back to selling them bows. I'm sticking to the code.
What's up, bro?
What's up with it? What's up with it?
Nothing much, nothing much. You ready to tap in?
Oh, most definitely.
Bet that. So, starting off, first things first is like just to give me. I like to get background. You know what I'm saying? As far as like who I'm working with, stuff like that. So, just starting off, like how long you been trading?
I've been trading since I was 18
18. How old are you now?
years, 20.
20. So 2 years.
Yes, sir.
Bet. What pairs you been trading?
Just now, just GU, just one pair.
That's the only pair you been trading.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Who you learn from like coming into the game and stuff?
Coming into the game, Q Banks and Drew.
Okay, bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's home team.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's home team. Bet.
Sir.
Bet. So what you feel like it's been like your strong points with like in your trading journey and stuff like that?
Strong points. As far as like technicals or just in general?
We can start technicals, yeah.
Technical wise, I say my strong points is not being afraid of the lower time frames.
Okay.
Yeah, not being afraid of seeing all the data in my face.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a bet. What else?
Technical wise. I think that's it for real.
All right. What you feel like things you could work on?
Work on, I'll say just grasping market structure as a whole, a trend within a trend. I wrote it down. Okay. When should I aim for small moves and when should I aim for big moves? Okay. How should I go about maintaining orders other than the 38.2 method? Okay. And being consistent with, like, I'm trying to be way more consistent with the advanced like entry styles, because like, you know, Q Bank's way, like, you know, BOS, M15, M30, but Drew was teaching me more so as like I can get in before that happened. But where I messed up with Drew was it was like I was going against it completely. Like I was too on the lower time frame too much. Okay. Yeah, I was like on M1 and it kind of just threw me completely out from Q Bank's way. Okay. When I had to go back to, you know what I'm saying? I went back to that way. And I kind of added Drew stuff a little bit more, but it was more so, I was more so focusing on the M30 and the M15 and then going back to that lower time frame.
Okay. So, how many pips are like you used to catching with GU? Per week.
Like lately.
Per week.
Per week, my goal is 100 pips, but lately, you know, camp and stuff, like I just been like making sure I just keep being consistent with technicals, because I get my refund check September 2nd, and it's gonna be 5,300. So I'm trying to go at least 3K.
Yeah, for sure. You could definitely do some damage with that. So 3K, be working with a 3K account. Okay, how many trades setups do you say like you take on average per week?
See, like, okay, so normally if I was to go like straight Q Banks wedge, I would on M15 BOS or M30 BOS. If the setup off H4, I go M30, and you know it'll take a while, so it'll be like 1 or 2 setups.
Yeah.
So like, but if I was to, like, I'm trying to work on my advanced entry style, so it'll be like, if say for instance the H4 was on a downtrend and the M30 was on an uptrend, I try to aim at them high points and go lower time frame like the M3 and wait for that momentum to switch over.
Okay. Are you comfortable with your entry base points, like far as like when you in the uptrend or you're in the downtrend, like you understand where you need to be entering at and things like that?
Most of the time, yes, sir. Like most of the times I am, but it's just really like I'm just trying to get to that more so intraday trading, because I know it's more setups, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's hella setups for sure.
Setup swing.
Sure. And you trading, you know, a pretty volatile pair, a forex pair, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's like you could definitely do that. For sure. So I bet some shit and see. Damn, I got that shit pulled up.
Oh, man. Coach told us we got 8:30 cap.
You said what happened?
I said, our coach said we're supposed to be out at 8:30. That was so cap.
Oh, nah, you straight, bro. I know how that should be. Yeah, I didn't be knowing, bro. I'm super flexible because I trade full time. So
that's one of my goals. I'm trying to come out of college.
yeah, bro.
I have a job.
Do it. You could do it, bro. You can fucking do it for sure. I was in my PhD program. I just left my PhD program last year, and just to trade full time, move down here, help take care of my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, take care of my family with this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I tell everybody that you know, I mentor and work with is that this shit will give you time freedom and it'll give you location freedom. You know what I mean? Like, I done been on planes and it made bread on the plane that paid for my trip back, you know what I'm saying? Or my flight back type shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, the shit start coming in so fast that it's like you could really you gotta be ready for what's next. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta already be planning in your head like what's next, and how and the biggest thing is being a good manager. You know what I'm saying? Like, understanding how to manage your bread, understanding, you know, when to leverage your bread. And it's the same thing. It's gonna replicate how you are in your real life with your finances and everything. It's gonna definitely replicate on the charts. You know what I'm saying? Whether you patient, whether you greedy, whether scary, you know what I'm saying? Conservative, super conservative, you know what I mean? Like, all of those things play out, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's why everybody could look at this shit and see something different. You know what I mean? That's why everybody could look at it and make money together. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's enough for everybody. And that's why if you really got the sauce and if you really know what you're talking about, you really know what you're doing, you ain't really tripping on sharing it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's enough for everybody, bro. Like, you really know that. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm so thankful to Q, you know what I'm saying? For just being who he is, bro, for real, because shit, without him, shit, man, a lot of niggas wouldn't have no sauce. He taught niggas how to fish. You know what I'm saying?
Lit.
For sure. So you said you was looking at GU. I've been on GU in a minute. Man.
Wow, well, I be studying yours too. I be on your YouTube.
Yeah, man.
I got a notebook for yours too, bro. I got a notebook for yours, Q, Drew, all that.
Yeah, bro, for sure, bro. That's what's up, bro. Cause I'm telling you, you can never stop learning, man. Like, it's so much sauce in this shit, bro. Cause that's really what it's all about. It's about insight, bro. Like, it's really all about having insight. In the same way, you think about it with football, bro. Like, having insight, like knowing the plays, knowing, you know what I'm saying, being able to read how niggas line up. You know what I'm saying? Read versus certain cadences. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same shit. And if you can apply that and perceive it that way, you know what I'm saying? To where this shit isn't threatening, you know what I mean? Because you know you're looking at money all day, but you gotta put it in a perspective to where, like, this shit don't mean nothing for real. Like, you know what I mean? It's just something that you wake up and that you do. You know what I'm saying? And you do it at a high level. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's really about. And that's what I try to make sure everybody, like I said, that fuck with me understands. I do this shit at a high level.
Yeah,
right?
I really appreciate you, bro. The one-on-one stuff, bro. I really need this, bro. Like, for real.
Yeah, bro. It ain't no thing. So just to go over like the structure shit, because I had a couple new students that signed up with me. So I was already going over like structure shit and like shit that really matter. You know what I mean? When it comes to this shit. So it'll be easy for me to go ahead and tell you. So let's just start off with like just understanding, like you understand what makes an uptrend. An uptrend is when the market is making consecutive higher highs and higher lows, right? So higher highs and higher lows, that's an uptrend. The thing that we want to look for is our entry base points, right? Our entry base points on an uptrend is going to be at these higher low points. The reason they're going to be at these higher low points is because that is the lowest point that the market is trying to reach before it turns around to continue structure, right?
Yes, sir.
So support, that's the floor. That's going to be what's holding the uptrend up. So anytime this is violated and broken right here, that is when we have a breach. And once we have a breach of structure, then we understand that market structure has been now broken, and we can anticipate, you know what I mean, a continuation of a different kind of trend. Okay. Oh my gosh, bro. You gotta chill. Bro, this shit better be emergency. Hold on, bro. Bro, I gotta call you back. Bro. Let me call you back, bro. Bro, I have to call you back, bro. Bro, I have to call you back, bro. I'm in the middle of my one-on-one, bro. I gotta call you back. All right, man. I'm gonna call you back, bro. Bro, my brothers is crazy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, bro. So that's the first thing, is understanding that, right? So that this whole entire thing is called a transition. All right. So that's what happens here. That's why I have it over here. But we'll get to like what it looks like as far as the candlesticks. But that's what the uptrend is basically for. So you have that breach that happens where it breaks support. Then we anticipate a lower low, and then come back to form its first lower high point. And at that point, that's where we understand that the transition is fully made, right? And then we will start looking for sales somewhere up in this point right here, right? At our first lower high point. So that is how you dictate, you know what I'm saying, the uptrend, and when the uptrend is broken. So going the opposite way. Oh shit. There we go. If it's a downtrend, right? You're seeing lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? That's the structure that you're looking for a downtrend. The thing that keeps a downtrend, you know what I'm saying, down, is the lower high points. Those lower high points is the highest point that the market is trying to reach before continuing structure. So our entry base points would be right here, right here, right here, and right here. Because like I said, those are the highest points that the market is trying to reach before it continues the downtrend, right? So when that is breached, that's when a point of resistance is now broken, and then we can anticipate the uptrend, right? So the break of structure will happen somewhere around where this resistance was, up in this area. Boom, that retest will happen. And a lot of times it's resistance, then turn support. And then we would then look for buys up in this area right here. Right. And this would be the transition from a downtrend to an uptrend. Right. So what that looks like over here now is the meaning of tested versus test of support and a test of resistance versus broken support and a break of resistance. The reason why this is important is because you have to understand what turns the market. So at each of these points right here, where it would be a lower low, you would see a certain test of support. Then it will go back up, make a lower high. That would be a certain test of resistance. So then we will go down here. Once you see where this support once was, boom, you will see some type of break of support on that time frame to then continue that downtrend to make that new lower low, right? To continue structure. So those are the points that actually turn the market. So what a test of support actually is when the market closes bearish on this level of support, and the next candle closes bullish on that following level, on that same level, sustaining that level of support. right? So that first candle closes bearish on that level of support, and the following candle closes bullish on that same level, maintaining that level of support / structure, right?
Right.
So that would be a test of support. So that's something you would see, like I have here. If you've seen that market trending downward, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and then it hit a point of support here, and then you would start to see maybe like some consolidation and some test of support, right? If it ended up being a bullish engulfing, that means on the lower time frame that it broke that level of, resistance, right? And then came back and made a higher low on that level of support. That was once resistance. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. So that's the test of support. Once again, when the market closes bearish on a level, on a certain level, and that following candle closes bullish on that same level, maintaining that level / structure, right? A test of resistance now is when the market closes bullish on a certain level of resistance, and that following candle closes bearish on that same level, maintaining that level of resistance. So the same thing, just opposite, right? So the market will be trending up, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, hit a market price of indecision or key level or something like that. Boom, you'll start to see some type of consolidation on that lower time frame, and made that bearish engulfing. You will see a break of support, and then some type of retest where that support will probably turn resistance or something like that, right? Most of the time, that's what we see, around like 75% of the time. Sometimes it can come back 100% retrace, on that lower time frame. That'll just, but in this scenario, I'm just showing you, the most basic version of what can happen, okay?
Right.
So that's that test of resistance, is when the market closes bullish on a level of resistance, so at a high point, and that following candle closes bearish on that same level, maintaining that high point. Okay, so that's test of support, test of resistance. A break of support is when the market closes bearish on a level of support, and then that following candle closes bearish beyond that level of support, breaking that level, breaking that previous level of support.
Right.
Okay, so that's how you know when the level is broken. So example of this, right? For instance, just so I can show you. All right, so even if we was like looking in this area, let's see if I can find a good one. Right, that's really not a good one. But fuck it, you'll get the idea. You've been trading long enough. So here, boom, we have this level of support, right? Bearish, bullish, tested, right? Bearish, bullish, tested, right? Bearish, bearish, but it didn't really break outside this level, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what really considered a break would be this candle that had that buyer's exhaustion at the top, and then these couple candles like right here. So all of this would be considered as the break, right? Because you need enough volume breaking past that level of support to let you know, like, okay, this area of support is now broken. Even if I was to extend my random line here, boom, I could possibly make plays off of, retest areas, right? For sales or whatever the case is, right? So boom, that's just an example, a quick example. It wasn't the best, but it's a quick example of a certain break of resistance. Break of support, sorry. So break of resistance now is, take this off. Let's see if I could just zoom this shit right here. Bet. So this area right here, right? It's the area that we focused in on right now, right? So break of resistance is when the market closes bullish on this level of resistance, right? And the following candle closes bullish beyond that level of resistance, letting you know that it's enough bullish momentum to continue, right? Right. So that's the same thing, just opposite, right? So those are the things that really let you know, like, what's going on, like when it comes to market structure and when it comes to tested and broken candles, right? The biggest thing with market structure is just understanding there's 3 types of trend: uptrend, right? That's when the market is making consecutive higher highs and higher lows, right? There's a downtrend.
Consolidation.
Yep. And you already know the other one is that consolidation, where the market is just ranging, right?
Yes, sir.
So our entry base points is boom, higher low points, uptrend, downtrend, lower high points. If we're in consolidation, it's going to be the max areas, which is going to be max support, max resistance. I said that backwards. Max support down here, max resistance. My fault. I've been teaching all day. But yeah, so those are your entry base point areas when you're in consolidation. This is going to be your entry base point areas on the uptrend. It's going to be your entry base point areas on a downtrend, right? Lower highs, higher lows, max resistance, max support, right? The other thing I was going over earlier was understanding the candlesticks, right? And transitions, right? So far as the transitions, you have to understand when things are valid. And that's what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to time frame correlation and when it comes to being on higher time frames and lower time frames, right? Because it's all one system, right? It's all one system. It's just showing you different things that are happening. So for instance, if you're thinking about it like a play, right? If you're thinking about it like a play, it's going to be different. Like soon as the quarterback says hut or whatever the case is, it's going to be different things that have to develop before the fucking play is open, before the wide receiver is open, before the hole opens, whatever. You know what I'm saying? If he's running through a certain gap, you know what I'm saying? Running back about to run through a certain gap, and you got the tackle that could be pulling. You got the wide receiver that's going to be doing his job. So things have to develop for the play to work. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same shit with this trading shit, bro. Like you have to be patient and you have to understand, like, all right, if I'm seeing a test of resistance on H4, I have to go to M30 and make sure that I'm seeing some type of break of support that happened right here. You know what I'm saying? And it forms some type of lower high to let me know that this area is now valid. Right. You get what I'm saying? If the market continues to go bearish on H4, then all I'm seeing on M30 is a continuation of a downtrend. Right. Then the market comes down on M30, hits a point of support. That's where you see that bearish candle. Then it goes bullish, like we was just going over. Gave you that bullish engulfing. What you see there is boom. You see that break that happens here, where that break of support, break of resistance happens. Right up in here on that lower time frame, you'll see a continuation of an uptrend. Then boom, it'll make that high point, right? That new higher high. Boom. What's expected after that? That higher low. Once we see that higher low, once that higher low point is made, now what we're looking for is our candle. We're starting to use our candlestick analysis. So now we have to understand, okay, what candles do I need to be looking for as far as a buying signal to let me know it's okay for me to enter the market, right? So a lot of people already know about the bullish engulfing, which is a 2 candlestick pattern setup, right? But like Q taught us, you know what I'm saying? You want to be open with the candles that you get in on, because that's going to allow you to be able to have more scaling opportunities and things of that nature. Like you'll be open to more opportunities in the market. But if you're only looking for one type of candlestick pattern, one type of candlestick setup, you're going to miss out on a bunch of opportunities in the market. Right? So bullish variations, bearish variations, things like that, those are going to be the things as well that you want to make sure that you study up on and make sure that you're training your eyes on when you're back testing and doing some of the homework and stuff like that we're going to be doing. So that way you start to be way more open with, like, you know, the candlesticks that you're entering on. So with the bullish engulfing, and all that is when the buyer's candle closes above the opening of the bearish candle, right? So all this that's hanging over the opening of this bearish candle, because we got the open and then the close of the bearish candle, then we got the open of the bullish candle that open low and close high, right? So everything that's hanging over lets us know that this is way more buyers in the market than these sellers, right? But the same thing, this right here means the same exact thing as this right here. This bearish candle, then there's this doji, indecision, you know what I'm saying? Price was basically neutral. Then that bullish candle basically open. Then we had this bullish candle, a lot of bullish volume, push up, boom, and close way up here. All of this bullish volume up here that closed above the opening of this bearish candle lets me know that there's a lot more buyers in the market. So same thing, same concept. You see what I mean?
Yes, sir. So it's like it's like a engulfing variation.
Yup, exactly. So engulfing is just 2 candles. A variation could be 3 to 5 candles, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the thing when it comes to market structure. You know what I mean? Is you really just want to key in on entry base points, and also your transitions and your candlestick analysis. That shit is key. Super key. And then the top 3 things I tell everybody, or top like 3 or 4 things I think. I still had that shit written up here. I don't think I did. Yeah, I might have took it off. Yeah, I took it off. It's all good. But the top things I do when I first get on the chart. So when I get on the blank chart, first thing I do is I'm looking for market structure. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I'm looking at. Like what is my market structure telling me? My market structure is basically telling me it's a smooth uptrend, right? On this high ass time frame, right? When I start breaking things down, I start to look for more candlestick analysis. Like what areas do I need to be in? Right. So I understand this is the area, that's the area of relevance. All right. Once I understand that's the area of relevance and I can clearly see like, okay, I had certain points of uptrend, I had a market crash, correction, you know, I'm still seeing clear breaks of resistance on certain time frames. You know what I mean? Like, so I know what structure I should be looking at, right? And then once I start to break down and get into like the daily, the H4s and stuff like that, that's when I'm starting to get into my analyzing time frames, right? So that's the time frames that I'm on like 80% of the time, which is probably going to be like the 4-hour time frame, right? Because those monthly and weekly time frames, you got to remember that you're only on those time frames at certain points, right? Either when, and that's going to be again when things are valid. So that's going to be at the end of the month, you know, middle of the month, like when those candles, that volume in those candles actually means something, right? So when I'm on a 4-hour, that's where I'm using, you know, all of my technical analysis, my fundamentals, my not fundamentals, my technical analysis, my trend lines, my candlestick analysis, my what else? Candlestick analysis, market structure, fibs, moving averages, you know what I'm saying? Like random lines, support and resistance, like that's where I'm like going crazy, you know what I'm saying? And then like depending on what I see, that's when I'll really start breaking things down, like you said, back to the 30-minute, 5-minute, you know what I mean? A lot of times, especially because I trade US 30 mainly now, I'm on the 5-minute a lot, you know what I'm saying? 5-minute and 30-minute a lot when it comes to my entries.
Man, that's the main thing with me, bro. Like I'm just trying to like, cause for me, just, you know what I'm saying, watching like you, Drew and Q, like I know like Q is more so of you know, the move, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is like I've been working on that a lot because I feel like the move give you that foundation to what you need to know, you know what I'm saying, to get more saucy with it.
Yeah, for sure. That's why he say once you know the rules, you can break the rules. You know how to break them.
That's what Drew taught me. Really, Drew was like, then Drew, I learned from Drew. He was like, then he put me on sauce with the lower time frames, like, because with Q Banks, like I'll be, you know, waiting the whole, you know, couple hours, which is good because it taught me patience, you know. And when I got with Drew, it was like you know, lower time frame, and I just got so lost in lower time frame. It was like, it was crazy. Like I just completely went out the window, and then I had mixed the two. Yeah. And I came up with rules and boundaries that I couldn't cross, and I became like way more consistent with it.
Yeah.
So, and I really feel like the lower time frame is so big, you know, but you got to master the high time frame to be able to.
Got to, gang. Got to. For sure.
So I got a question real quick. So, all right, so GU right now.
Yeah.
So for one, I knew like right now it broke structure. If I'm not tripping, broke structure went from a downtrend to an uptrend. And it was at a 23.6. And I had caught this sell. I caught that sell because I went on like I think the H12. I was on H12 because the daily was a little too choppy, kind of. So I went on H12 and I seen like this resistance point. And that's really the only reason why I took it, because it was shown on the H12. Like it was a previous floor that was broken, and you know turned into like just a resistance point. So I just knew, and I knew the H4 minus structure was broken too. So I like knew kind of like the momentum ain't shifted yet for the buyers to come back in control. Just trying to like get that temporary bias back instead of like because I know it's an uptrend overall, but I was trying to get that temporary move and then catch that whole move. Like that's the main thing I'm trying to work on, like the whole move and the temporary moves to be able to benefit all the time. But not all the time, but you know, when it's needed, really.
Yeah, I got you. Give me 1 second. I'm about to see what's going on right now. So I ain't mark this bitch up in a minute.
I most definitely got to get better with my trend line. So with you zooming out like that really helps you like see everything.
Yeah, bruh. Help me get a gauge of just what's really been going on. Our structure and what parts are like super duper respected. You know, you could do that, or you can go on the line chart too, because the line chart shows you close price. You can't forget that as well.
So it's gap.
If you start seeing stuff. You start seeing certain things, you can make certain moves off of it. And the biggest thing with your technicals, again, bro, is just making sure that you let your technical, let the market play out on your technicals. Like don't chase the market around your technical. You let the candles do what they do, and you just be ready to make your move. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, let that shit develop, and when the hole is open, that's when you do it. That's how you get quality setups. That's how you're gonna get the rushing yards that you want, or the picks that you need, is by really calculating your steps and really waiting on things to look how you want them to look. That's when you can really slow the game down and control and play chess. And that's what Q talks about when he says having an edge, right? So then, boom, we had this smooth uptrend. Boom, on the daily. Had certain breaks of resistance that was happening. Boom, retest. Buyers came in the market. Here, we hit a high level of resistance that happened right here. Tested, boom. We got daily support because of that bearish and bullish candle that happened right there. All right. So these two candles are here. Made that support valid, right? So then we got a test that happened right here. But you just got to keep in mind that since we've been up here, right, the market has been kind of starting to make lower highs, right?
Right.
So then boom, we got that breaker support that happened. So the breaker structure happened here, boom, boom. Right. So if you was on this already, right, go ahead, put your fibs out. What started the break? Let me see. Break of support started here. So the push for this was right here. So then point A to point B. So that'll be point A right there. Point B right here. Boom. Point C happened at 50%. So we had that test that happened right here. Right. So once you seen that test and that exhaustion up there, it could have been on an entry time frame. And this is where you got to get nice with your exhaustion zone. So we got previous resistance that could have been pre-marked off already right here. All right. All right, so we got bearish engulfing, boom, previous resistance. All right. I think we get sexy with these on real quick. Boom. So then once we knew what we was looking for at this touch right here, right? Oh, we waiting on that. We draw our trend line. No cap. We can draw that like right here. Right? And we would have been waiting on a certain level of support to break. Right here. Right? we could have drew like another little trend line right here. And literally entry is anywhere after this. So if you couldn't catch this candle, right? It's okay, not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. Anything in this area would have been fine as well. Anything in this area would have been fine as well. Stop loss could have easily been, if you're getting in where I would have got in, like somewhere up in here, and my stop loss would have been like right here. Right. And I probably would have been straight. But if you got in off the continuation, like which is like right here, which is fine. It's not a problem. This is perfect, honestly, because it's after the break, somewhere after the break of the counter trend line. You know what I mean? After you got enough confluence, that's perfect. Then you can put your stop loss, you know what I'm saying, somewhere up here above this resistance. You see what I'm saying? And you still got enough room to breathe.
So like, okay, so the way I go, like the way I go about it on the lower time frames, because I know the lower time frames make the higher time frames. It's like, okay, so
and our TP would have been based off H4, and it could have been at previous support, which is either like right here for 138 pips, or you did max to where the negative 27 is.
I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not holding. I know I ain't holding.
Right, exactly, ain't nobody doing that. So like I would have probably did like right here where previous support was.
Right.
Straight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Or even like right here, bro. Honestly, it's 100 pips out of it, especially on G out of it straight.
Yeah.
And you're only risking like 40 pips. That's not bad at all. So yeah. And then yeah, keeping the same bias. Boom, lower high point still. Could have marked that off right here. These lower high points at these wicks right here. If you kept the same bias.
Roost.
Boom. And then you could have had other entry areas, opportunities up in here for scaling, opportunities to then hold it and take it from stop loss right above this last lower high where you had got in at previously. And boom, could have had.
And it's more so like this right here, this style right here is more so, is this more so like swing?
This is more so intraday.
Okay, cool.
This is more so
the average. So intraday trading.
Because the thing about it is like I'm using the 4 hour to gauge my broader perspective, but I'm scaling in over time. So like I could have had a move in here, like I said, and held this for let's say 6 to 9 hours, got out of that, and then waited for another entry opportunity here, got in for another, 6 hours, 9 hours, caught another 50 pips, got out, waited again. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how I trade, you know what I mean? Because it's like I've gotten to the point where it's like I enter the market. That's how Q teaches me, right? I enter like a scalper and then I maintain like an intraday / swing trader. You see what I'm saying? So it's like if the market allows me to swing or to swing, I'll swing. But most of the time, I'm more like intraday, like damn near scalp. You know what I'm saying? Because especially because of the lot sizes that I'm using now.
Right, and that risk, you actually risked it, like
what, the 40 pips?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trading GU, so I trade US 30. So on US 30, usually I'm risking somewhere around like 35, 40 points, which is probably around the same like 40 pips for real. But you gotta think I'm getting, if I'm risking like 35, 40 points, I'm probably getting like 200 points out that move. Or you see what I'm saying?
So okay, so can I read you my entry style real quick?
Sure.
So shit. Yeah. All right, so for me, like it's like I know the lower time frames make the high time frames.
Yep.
So, and I know, after I get the H4 bias and the H4 bias in the sensitive direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll mostly I'll go to the M30, and then if it's the M30, making high highs and higher lows, it's like I try to trap it kind of. You know what I'm saying? So if at that high point, because I know it's a tested area.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, when it align with the area of confluence, like if 7 inches, it made a high point, and I know it's a downtrend overall. I made a high point, and then I'll try to get in the lower, like if it come back to the high point, and I go to like the M3, and then it breaks on the M3, I put my stop loss somewhere above that, and then I'll just react off the M30 because I don't like having all. I just go to M3 for my
entry. But that's the thing. Your stop loss is too tight.
Right.
It's too much data, because if you enter in on M3, then your stop loss needs to be based off of M30. You see what I'm saying? Especially if that's going to be the time frame that you're analyzing off of, because M3 is super, super volatile.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I definitely wouldn't base my stop loss off of M3. Like I would base it minimum M15. You know what I'm saying? But
so with 3,000, I'm going in. What should be my? Well, I know it depends really off your confidence and your foundation, but what you think would be a solid lot size? To
what size account for the 3K account?
Yeah, 3K.
You start off with standards.
Playlist.
Yeah, you start off with standards. There's no reason why you shouldn't be comfortable with standards. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can easily make $500 a day, bro. $400 a day easily on GU, just knowing market structure and the way I'm seeing it, just by being patient and knowing what you need to see. You know what I'm saying? If you really trading only GU, you know what I mean? But the thing about it is, if you pair hopping and shit like that, then it's like you're gonna miss out on certain moves and stuff like that too. And then just understand that your schedule and what your time and what you're doing, that is like, all right, I need to understand what time GU is gonna be moving. You know what I'm saying? London, NY. So it's like you're gonna have to be up, 3 a.m., 4:30 a.m., like, through that time, through 11, 8, 9, whatever, like just catching your moves, but finding your rhythm, you know what I'm saying? And finding out, when is this pair super volatile? When am I seeing this pair push? When am I, and I want to get in before the push. I don't want to get in while it's pushing. You know what I mean? I want to get in right before it start pushing, right? But that's what's going to help you, is just getting insight and things like that. So what I would say is, far as the homework, what I would need you to do is, so since you trading GU, I need you to give me 3 setups. 3 setups. So next time we get on, I need you to be able to walk me through 3 setups, top to bottom, like how I just broke down structure with you, higher highs, higher lows. You know the deal, higher highs, higher lows, and stuff like that. Your breaks and 3 entries based off, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing, or any variations. But I need to see those 3 setups, and we'll talk about it, go through that, and then I want you to revisit your trade plan and just be a little bit more extensive with your trade plan, far as like, okay, you're gonna have this 3K account. What lot size you gonna use for sure? You know what I'm saying? What's your PIP goal and profit goal for the week? What's your PIP goal and profit goal for the month? Right? And then also, what else I need? Just far as extensive, what time frame you plan on being on 80% of the time? What time frames are you comfortable entering off of, and those things? Okay.
Right.
And then we'll tap back in. Let's see, like Sunday. Sunday work for you?
Man, perfect. That's our update. We got church. We got mandatory church, and other than that, we good.
All right, that's the best. So I'll let you know what time Sunday. Then we'll tap in Sunday.
Hey, what time are you? Like, what time zone?
So I'm on the East Coast, so I think I'm an hour ahead of you.
Okay, so it's 11:20.
Yep.
All right, baby. I was wondering because I was like, I said 8:30. I was like, dang, he probably,
Oh no, you good, bro. I put it all together.
For sure.
Man. But yeah, bro, we gonna get to it, bro. For sure.
Definitely, most definitely. I'm finna get on that now. All right, I'm finna do it right now.
Bet. We'll tap in. All right.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, fam.
All right.